Alright, welcome back to the channel. Aaron here. Today I'd like to talk about some folding at home. I've been doing folding at home for over 10 years now, at least. I can't remember the exact date. Had to have been sometime in 2006 or so. And I've kept pretty good track of everything I've done, every system I've built and upgraded along the way. Pretty much when I first started, I don't remember really the exact computer I had, but I was getting about 400 points a day. And I was pretty proud of that. I was like, single core processor, 400 points a day. That was pretty much it for a long time. I didn't really have any money to upgrade or do anything, and all the new GPUs that had started coming out that had stream processors and stuff. I started learning about all that. Come here. There we go. And so along the way I started researching different GPUs and how many stream processors they had, and AMD was on top, and then NVIDIA released the Fermi architecture, which I have on my card. The first one I bought, technically. She's mad. I'm not paying attention to her. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, baby. You my little baby. Trying to make a video here. I've always built computers, way back from the Pentium 2 days. And basically, as I started discovering these new ways, I decided I wanted to buy a graphics card. And the first one I ever got for this specifically was the it was something with a 2400, I think, in the name. Pretty low end, let's say. It wasn't the HD 2400, it was before that. But anyways, the first GPU, it only had a few stream processors, maybe like 64 or something like that. It was really low, and I thought I could get away with doing some folding on it. And mainly ran on, I had a laptop, single core, ran XP, then put Vista on it, and Vista ruined it. And then for the longest time I didn't have any other CPUs, GPUs that I really upgraded to, until one day, sometime in, I believe it was about 2009, bought randomly. It was like, I need a new computer, so I bought this E-Machine, single core. I still have the CPU, and it's like a Celeron D925, and I was running that. I don't remember what the points I was getting on that. And I upgraded the CPU cooler, and it stuck out the side. That's some of my first crazy upgrades I started doing to that. Upgrade the RAM, and then I got a GPU. Well, this was the first GPU I got for that computer. I specifically got this model because of the small form factor. I quickly found out how fast it overheated. So 650 megahertz, gigabyte of RAM. This one actually, I think this one has the gigabyte, unless this is the 512 megabyte version. It worked for a bit. I needed a lot of cooling, obviously, and so a couple months later I decided I wanted to upgrade again, and so I picked up this guy, the GT 430. Man, this card got some use out of it. Folding at home and SETI at home, both. This one had like 96 CUDA cores, but it destroyed it in all of its points per day. I don't remember exactly what it was, like 4,000 or something, so I was really proud of my 4,000 points a day. And so I chugged along with that for a long time. So anyways, I switched out to this card, and it's pretty beat up. I don't even think it really works anymore. Pretty dusty. Been sitting on the shelf. So I ran that guy for a long time, and then I started upgrading my PC, finally. Bought the motherboard, got a new CPU, RAM, and I have this plan of stepping up and up and up and up. basically the computer that it turned into is the Underdesk computer, the Q9300. It's just a random Intel board. I think it has like 8 gigabytes of RAM in it. Right now it has less than that because one of the sticks is bad. But anyways, that's what I upgraded to with this card. Got a case, the old Antec 300 down there, and that was my new rig. And my little sister mentioned one day, hey, there's this game Skyrim, I want to play it. So I said, okay, we can try. So we got it, and it ran. It was okay. We could play it for a bit. And little 720 screen, this GPU, it worked, let's say. So then, particular job I had allowed me to purchase a new GPU, and one of these days I'm gonna buy it again just to have it. But the GTX 560 Ti, my first official real GPU. I love that thing. It was cool. It was the first awesome upgrade I ever had. And so I got that, and gaming obviously improved dramatically, and the folding, my folding points per day went up considerably. At least, I believe it was at least 50,000 points a day, which was awesome. I couldn't believe it. And it was a stock, had a stock cooler on it. I got them for $36 right now, and I had 384 CUDA cores, and it was really cool. It had a gigabyte of RAM in it, DDR5. I felt special having that. And a few months later, I had the opportunity to buy a second one. So I had two, did them in SLI, doubled my points per day up to 100,000 points a day, which was really cool. So I started climbing the leaderboards on the folding page. Go away. So I had the 560s for a long time, and then at one point I started getting into water cooling. Again, having another job that allowed me to make some purchases, and so I got my case that I still have to this day, and that was like 2010, I think, 2010, 11, something like that. A birthday came around, and I was able to buy my Cooler Master XB. I love the thing, still have it. Can upgrade one of these days. I'd like to upgrade to like a Fractal Design case, or even like the Be Quiet cases and stuff. I wouldn't mind upgrading to one of those one of these days. That'd be pretty cool. Wink wink, Fractal Design. Maybe we can make a video. So I had the the 560 Ti's for a long time. I water cooled both of them with two closed loop Corsair water coolers and the CPU, which doesn't really need it. It's actually still on there right now. It doesn't need a water cooler at all, but hey, it's fun. So in this case, I had the 3 water coolers, and everything was fine. The room could get unbearably hot. Summer, winter, didn't matter. I didn't need the heater in my room. And so as graphics cards started coming out, about 2012, I believe, when all of the new AMD cards started coming out, I found out that the R9 270 outperformed the 560 Ti twofold. So I decided to get one of those. So I got my first card, R9 270. It's a XFX card. I believe it has 2 gigs of RAM. Yep, it had two fans. It was a what do they call it? It's like the Double D XFX Radeon R9 270. It ran at 925 megahertz, so almost a gigahertz. You could actually push it pretty close to that, and I doubled all my points per day. So I went from about 50,000 up to about 100,000, and using less energy. It was cooler. It was a really good upgrade. So a few months later, however long, I got a second one, and I discovered that you can actually get a gigabyte R9 270 and they had the regular 270, and then they had the 270X. And one thing that Gigabyte did that was really cool was they just added a second power plug on here, and so I think it was 2 6-pins, so you could run the same card and get R9 270X performance out of the regular 270, and they sold it at the same price. So you didn't have to buy the X variant of the card, and you could get the X performance. So I got one of those, but it pushed my points per day all the way up to 200,000 points a day with 2 of them, and running the CPU. But the CPU is barely getting, I think on here, this was the, oh no, this is with this current CPU. So, but anyways, I had actually upgraded the motherboard and CPU and everything, which is what I still have now, because obviously you can't do SLI on that Intel board. So gradually over time I got the board, I got my i5 3570K, and that was like the official dawn of the Shambler computer, and that was my rig for quite a while. And yeah, 200,000 points a day. So I found out that running 2 R9 270s is actually just about equivalent to running 1 R9 290, which I sold that one a long time ago. I decided to buy one, and so I sold the R9 270, got rid of that, and got the money like through taxes or whatever to get the 290. So I got the Gigabyte R9 290. I don't know, was it the WindForce 3? And man, that card got hot. I actually had gotten the reference version first, and quickly found out that it would hit 200 degrees and would quickly start downclocking, and it sounded like a turbo fan. You know, it literally had like a 4,000 or 5,000 RPM fan in it, and so that was unbearable. I upgraded, switched from that one to the Gigabyte version, which stayed at about 190 still with that cooler. So again, water cooled it, and just with the regular closed loop cooler. I ran that card for quite a while. That one, so essentially that card being double the performance of 2 R9 270s, that brought my performance up to about 400,000 points a day. And so I have a picture here. This is with both of them hitting 400. So that would be 200,000. So it was 200,000 points with 2 of those cards. I hit 400,000, and so this little screenshot here of 420,000 points a day. I was pretty excited, and both cards sitting within 156, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That's decent. That's what the 1080 does. I ran those 2 cards and then the single card, and again, NVIDIA, being NVIDIA, releases the 900 series, and I find out that the R9 or I found out the GTX 970 has more performance than the R9 290, and it uses far less power. I believe I was up to almost 300 watts with the 290, and then the going back down to the 970 barely used, not even 180 watts. So I switched to that, and that thing, getting a little bit more points per day than the R9 290. I decided I needed 2, so got 2 of those. So that's where my points per day started going up to, it was above 420,000 points a day. I don't have the picture of that. 13 million points, 20 million points, 60 million points. I don't remember what I was using when I hit 60 million. 495th in the team rank, I was in 2015. 80 million points I did in, so 2/28/15, I was 495 with 60 million. 2 months later, 4/23 2015, 80 million points, I was ranked 419. And so I folded like that for a while with the GTX 970s, and everything was fine, you know. And at a certain point, I had to calm down my folding. i7 3770K, you know, it's pretty damn hot. And those two cards, it was still creating a lot of heat. Not quite as much as the R1990s, but it was pretty hot. So for, I don't even remember how long I took a break for 400th place. So I went from being the 1000th team, ranking 1000 in 4/12 2014, to being 400th place in 5/12 2015. So it increased pretty quickly with new cards, and so I had to take a break for a long time, mainly because of power usage and, you know, bills and whatever. So, you know, regular life stuff. And even though folding home is, you know, it's a good cause, I couldn't afford to actually do it for a while. And so after changing a couple different jobs, I could afford to get the card I have now. Through taxes, I finally picked up my GTX 1080. So I went from having the two 970s, which are now in the two pink computers out there. That's what my little sister uses. After switching from those to the 1080, that's when my points per day went all the way up to 825,000, 850,000. Like in my last video, I proved that the 1080 could beat two 970s in folding. They actually never completed more than one work unit, and the 1080 did 3. So its performance compared to those, and it used less power, and, you know, it was cooler and everything. Yeah, once I went from the 970s, I switched to the 1080, and that thing's been whooping some butt in the folding. So kind of shows you the progress that in 5/16/2015 I was 400 place, and that when I had to stop, obviously I lost my place, and many people overtook me. And then so recently I finally got back down to 489. I was joking that there's this Jay's 2 cents team. Kind of called him out on Twitter, and he goes, you know, well, no, that's not me. I don't even have a folding team, so damn you, Jay. I beat him. I beat the fake Jay, so that's cool. The other teams, though, that I'm really impressed with, actually, are the Barnacules Nerdgasm, always down within 100th place, or, you know, under 100th place. But I think everybody should have a folding, you know, team. If you have a computer, if you have a laptop, especially newer laptops, I mean, man, everybody should be doing it. So right now I'm 477th, and I'm putting out 814,000 points average per day. So I was super proud that once I started folding with the 1080 off and on, and then recently in the last few months I've just completely been folding 24 hours a day. Some upgrades around the house have helped the energy bill. So recently I went from 80 million up to 150 million. That was 2018, 9/10/2018. I was placed 531st at 165 million points, and that's how quickly this 1080 has gathered some points for me. Once I hit the 150 level, I knew I just had to keep going. So 11/5/2018, I hit 200 million points, and there's actually this specific team on here, Big Math. I've been competing with Big Math for probably 6-7 years now. I remember that team way back in it had to have been at least 2012, something like that I was competing with them off and on. So anyways, they're only like 4 team, you know, they were only 4 places ahead of me, and they were making a pretty good amount of points. I can't see on this picture here. Well, like the Linus Tech Tips team. They're 14th in the world. So my little meager 477th by myself is it's pretty cool. But they also have 1,700 active users, so no matter what they're running, they're still going to beat me, because their average points per day are 147,392,696 compared to my 800 something thousand. So I'm not going to pass them anytime soon. And then like Barnacules Nerdgasm,
He's ranked 20th. He's got 163 users, 11 million points average per day. And yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of people that have teams, and I think it's really cool. It's really important that people are doing this, because there's still, many things to figure out with cancer. I mean, it's not just one thing. So, for instance, my grandmother had literally passed away a year ago from cancer. So, and it was quick. It wasn't like we found out and then it was months and months. It was literally like a month. And so yeah, I've been trying to get anybody I can to run Folding at Home for as long as I can. So every time anybody talks about it or wants to talk about computers, I talk about Folding at Home and City at Home and stuff. Yeah, so gradually upgrading components over the years, and I still have plans to upgrade again. My ultimate goal would be to have some sort of folding farm. Like there's that guy that had the Atlas folder he had like 60-something GPUs, all quad cores, all in big racks. And back when PlayStation had the PS3, and you could run Folding at Home on that, that was really cool. And I'm really disappointed in both companies, Microsoft and Sony. They both, the PS4 and the Xbox One, or even the One X, I'm so disappointed that they don't have it enabled on those, because yeah, the GPU power is similar to the R9 270, and a little bit more on the Pro and the X, but man, they'd be perfect. Mine's just sitting there. It's not being used right now because I'm not going to play Doom on my Xbox. I'm not going to play Skyrim on my Xbox. I'm going to play it on my 1440 60Hz screen and not have frame rate drops. I want to mod it. I want to do all that stuff. And there's just things you can't do on those systems with games. I mean, you play Halo, that's fine. I wish we could play Halo on PC, because the Xbox One and the PS4 are PCs, so I don't care what they say. They should be able to enable it on Xboxes and PlayStations. It'd be awesome. I'd literally just have an Xbox running Folding at Home. I wouldn't even be playing games on it. That's all it would be used for. That was really cool that they had done that, and it actually helped out a lot for just folding in general. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these new RTX cards can do. I can't afford any of them, but I would really like to see what the 2080 Ti or whatever the Titan variant is going to be, or the Quadro, how many points per day those things can produce. If the tensor cores become a thing, that folding can utilize, that'd be great. I mean, the more powerful the technology, the more work they can get done. Since they can't afford to, run it on one giant supercomputer 24 hours a day, send it out to us and we'll handle it. So I'm really interested in that, and a lot of these ultra high core count CPUs that are coming out, all the Ryzen stuff and the Threadripper. I'd love to have a new Threadripper CPU, and even the Vega cards. They're pretty damn good. So whatever AMD is going to be putting out, I'd like to see what those could do and how scalable they are, because with SLI, yeah, you can only run 2 cards, but you can put 4 cards in there and Folding at Home will use it. So I'd like to see what 4 2080 Ti's can output. That'd be something else. But yeah, so I've been folding for quite a long time and still doing it. I got both rigs going. I have the GTX 660 in the underdesk. It puts out about 50,000 points a day. It takes quite a while to get a unit out, because I was trying to figure out the performance, the 1080 versus the 660, and you can kind of scale it. So I could say my 850,000 points per day with this divided by the 50,000 points a day coming out of the 660, so it's 17 times more powerful. Well, yeah, so the folding journey, it's been a long one, and so now I've topped 200,000 or 200 million points, and getting back down into the 400s on the team, and hopefully one of these days I can. I'd really like to get down to the top 100, because that would just be dope. Like one person getting into the top 100. I don't even know how many points you would need to get
to that level. So to get to 100th place, where the Shippensburg University Computer Science Department is at, it's got 2 active users, 34 users total. What are they doing? 668,000 points a day. Total points, 2,289,138,209. They've done 245,377 units. That's a lot of units and a lot of points. You know, if you want to join my team, the team 208923, it's Omedium. I made the name up myself a long time ago, and yeah, I mean, if you want to join, you can join. I really don't mind. It'd be kind of cool. I've never had anybody actually join my team, so. And if there's any hardware companies out there, you know, mainly Gigabyte, wink wink. So anyways, that would be my goal, is to get to into the 100th place. Even if I hit 100th place for, 5 minutes, I get a screenshot of it, that'd be cool. But I really wish more people would fold. It'd benefit everybody. Always buy Gigabyte GPUs. That's it's my favorite brand. So Intel, AMD, anybody out there, if you want to help me out and give me some equipment, it'll go straight to folding. I swear, that's what it'll be used for. Maybe video editing. But yeah, I really would eventually like to have a farm of multiple computers, GPUs, CPUs, all running, folding at home, just chilling. But yeah, that's what I've always used my equipment for. All my computers have folded or run SETI. Because if I'm not trying to cure cancer, I want to find aliens, because that's really cool. So, but anyways, if you like this video, I don't know if you did or not. I don't know if I like this video. It's kind of long and rambling, and I'm pretty hungry, so I'm gonna have to go eat. But yeah, do the whole thing with the thumbs up and thumbs down if that's what you're into. Leave some comments. Tell me what I've left out, because I know I've left out a lot. And yeah, so subscribe to the channel. We got some more folding home things coming up. I know Linus and those guys, they have a competition going right now where you can actually win some GPUs by joining their folding team and contributing to the cause here. I think that's about it. I'll see you in the next video. I do have something. I do have a next video. I have something pretty cool in this box. Probably gonna do some folding with it, but probably won't be that worth it, but it'll be fun. So it's from the dark web, an ancient relic from a time and a land that has been forgotten. But anyways, like I said before, thumbs up, thumbs down, like, subscribe, comment. I just said that, and yeah, look me up on Twitter and stuff. Aaron J. Fritch, Instagram, and other things like that. I'm out there on the web, so there's other imposter Aaron Fritches out there, so ignore them, find me. I'm the cool one. And yeah, see you later.